Tonight from your local election headquarters, Democratic candidates hoping to fill Representative Jim Langevin seat in Congress square off in our studios. I'm Mike Montecalvo.
And I'm Shannon Heggie. Joy Fox, Seth Magaziner, Sarah Morgenthau, and David Siegel just wrapped up their debate moderated by Tim White and Ted Nesi with 2 weeks to go until the primary.
Target 12 investigator Steph Machado joins us now live in studio to break it all down. Steph?
The candidates weighed in on inflation, student loan debt, and abortion as they compete for voters in Rhode Island's 2nd Congressional District. Joy Fox, Seth Magaziner, Sarah Morgenthau, and David Siegel were split on whether President Joe Biden's $10,000 student loan forgiveness was the right move.
I absolutely support what the president did, and I would go even a bit further. I've said that I would go at least to $50,000 for most people, in line with Elizabeth Warren's plan.
I would have tackled it in a different way. The way I would have gone after it is lowering interest rates.
And I was particularly pleased to see the support of students who are receiving Pell Grants. There is more we have to do to make education affordable.
I am pleased that the president made this decision to do loan forgiveness. I think it is an important start.
The Democrats agreed on a lot. All four would vote to ban assault rifles, legalize marijuana, and re-elect Nancy Pelosi as Speaker of the House. But the candidates sparred on some topics, including Magaziner's residency. He only recently rented a home in the 2nd Congressional District after living outside of it for most of the campaign.
One of the bigger political issues in the general election here will be where we all live, and I take that right off the table. I will put my hometown girl up against Alan Fung's hometown boy all day long.
I've spent deep time in every community across District 2 working with people to solve problems.
And Morgenthau, who says Rhode Island needs to send a Democratic woman to Congress, couldn't name a current or former Rhode Island elected woman who is backing her.
I have been going from community to community and meeting the voters who are excited about having a fresh perspective, not a career politician, somebody who can go to Washington and get things done.
In addition to Congressman Langevin's support, which I'm grateful to have, our campaign is supported by the National Organization for Women and by prominent women elected officials in Rhode Island who are real leaders on these issues.
Piles of fancy endorsements are great, but the fact is that this race still has at least upwards of 37% undecided, and you haven't been able to break into 40.
And of course, the full debate is on our website. Also on the ballot are Omar Ba and Spencer Dickinson, who did not qualify for tonight's debate. The winner of the September 13th primary will face Republican Alan Fung in the general election. I'm Steph Machado, 12 News.
Team coverage of our debate continues. This was the first live televised debate in this race, and with Seth Magaziner holding a double-digit lead in our latest 12 News Roger Williams University poll, this was an opportunity for his candidates, or his opponents, they should say, to try and cut into that lead.
Target 12 investigator and moderator Tim White is here now with reaction from our political analyst.
I'm joined by 12 News political analyst and pollster Joe Fleming. Joe, our last poll shows that Magaziner has a pretty comfortable lead, up by almost 30 points among the other candidates, but there's still a lot of undecideds. Did the other candidates do anything to chip away at his lead
I
tonight?
think they may have done a little bit, Tim, but I don't think they did enough. I think he has a 30-point lead. There's a big block of undecided. They'll probably get divided up, I would think, at this point. The other candidates had the opportunity tonight to really go after Seth Magaziner. They did not do that. They took a few shots at him, but nothing really significant that would give him a body blow.
Of course, when you have a candidate that is in the lead, debates are usually a moment where they don't want to make any mistakes. Right. Did Magaziner make any mistakes?
I don't think he made any major mistakes. I think what I saw him tonight, though, was move towards the middle. When they asked about expanding the Supreme Court, he said no, not to expand it. They asked him about the student loans. He said, well, I wouldn't have done that. I would lower the interest rate, but different from what the other three candidates said. So I think we're seeing Seth Magaziner move towards the middle now, thinking more about November than the Democratic primary.
Yeah, Seth Magaziner was clearly looking ahead to Republican Alan Fung. Alan Fung was sort of a specter in the studio, don't you think?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, he was mentioned, I think, 7 times during the debate. But I think they all realize that he's the main person they have to look at coming November, that whoever wins this primary has to focus on Alan Fung. And when they answer their questions tonight, they have to be very careful, because Alan Fung will take these questions and use them against them if they answer it the wrong way.
All right, Joe Fleming, we will see you next week at the Democratic debate for governor. I'm Tim White, 12 News.
Tim, thank you. As you heard Tim just mention, 1 week from today, our Rhode Island governor Democratic primary debate will air live from Rhode Island College. Catch it Tuesday, September 6th at 8 p.m. on WPRI 12 and on WPRI.com.